This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what's making headlines in Armenia today. A document attributed to 13 bishops of the Armenian Apostolic Church appeared today on Civic AM, a website linked to the ruling Civil Contract Party, calling for what it describes as a process to cleanse the Church of Catholicos Gregorian II. At this time, there is no independent verification of the letter. The 13 names are listed in print, while some have a signature next to them. A notable signatory is Archbishop Hղman Derderian, head of the California-based Western Diocese. The text claims that video materials of an intimate nature said to involve the Mother See's Chancellor, Archbishop Arshak Khachatryan, have been authenticated through examination and presented to the Catholicos, who allegedly dismissed the findings. Khachatryan has similarly called the video a fake. The appeal urges other bishops and the public to support the initiative and join what it calls a structural renewal of the Church. Responding today to questions from Civic AM, Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan said he had received the newly circulated letter with filial humility and welcomed it as an indication that clergy are committed to the Church's spiritual mission. He said he would invite the bishops for discussion if they agree to meet. This follows an emergency meeting convened by the Catholicos yesterday of Armenia-based bishops and diocesan primates today, in an effort to rein in mounting internal tensions within the Church. During a meeting yesterday of Turkey's National Security Council, chaired by President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the normalization process between Armenia and Azerbaijan was reviewed, according to the Turkish Presidential Office. The statement said, "In light of the recent positive developments in the peace process between Azerbaijan and Armenia, the possibilities for bilateral and regional cooperation were discussed. The Turkish side's commitment to establishing peace, ensuring stability, and promoting development in the South Caucasus was reaffirmed." Armenia has been waiting for 3 years for steps from Turkey toward normalizing relations since a 2022 agreement to open the long-closed border to third-party passport holders. Despite this commitment, Ankara has tied normalization of relations with Yerevan to the signing of a peace treaty with Baku. For its part, Azerbaijan refuses to consider signing until Armenia changes its constitution to remove reference to the Declaration of Independence, which in turn called for the joining of Nagorno-Karabakh with Armenia. Observers say Azerbaijan has been pressuring Turkey to keep the border close, as that situation in turn gives Baku more leverage in negotiations. Armenia's Minister of Education and Culture, Zhanna Andreasyan, is pushing back against claims that the government's new cultural concept is an attempt at censorship. Speaking on CivilNet yesterday, Andreasyan described the document, titled Aesthetic Localization and Support of the Real Armenia, as a step towards strengthening national identity and building peace through a clearer understanding of the homeland. The minister insists that there is no plan to restrict artistic freedom. Instead, she says the goal is to rethink how state funding is allocated in the cultural sector. According to Andreasyan, government resources should support programs that reinforce statehood and reflect the current territorial realities of the Republic of Armenia. The draft concept was posted in circulation on the eDraft platform in September 2025, and it quickly sparked public debate. The essence of the proposal is summarized as a look inward to better interact with the outside world. Critics, however, raised concerns over potential reinterpretation of national symbols and collective memory. Andreasyan calls those fears unfounded, arguing that this initiative is about knowing the country more deeply, beginning with one's home, neighborhood, and immediate surroundings. Debate has been particularly intense regarding national symbols, such as Mount Ararat versus Mount Aragats. Andreasyan argues that identity must be rooted first and foremost in the Armenian state itself. She also stresses that historical memory should be examined critically, not dogmatically, and adds that preserving Artsak's cultural heritage, from dialects to traditions, remains a priority. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 212,891. That's the number of tourists Armenia received last month, according to the country's tourism committee. That's the most for any October in Armenia's history. While some monthly records have been broken this year, 2025 still trails 2023 for most tourists in a year. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.